the registration instructions, right? Yes, okay. So, oh, maybe I didn't add you to the group yet. Yes, I will send that to you, Kristen. So that way we have everything there. Hey, there's me. Okay. So what I want to do is just really quickly show you the website. This is what what you'll be looking at. Let's see, can I get this somehow? Okay, so this is what you'll look at on the screen. So I know in the past, families have had particular struggles with various aspects of this, so I just want to somewhat talk about the process of this. So when you go to this website, so it asks if you're a new or returning user. So the first thing that's done if you're a new family is to create an account for your family, for your students. If you've attended in the past, you would still, like the account you have should still be active. So then you can use that right there, and it has saved all of their students' information. And so this is where we go to. I mean, I don't think I can see everything here, but so first thing, you create an account, and it'll ask for all the specific information for your students at that point. About just, I know you put in health insurance things, you put in the various aspects of this thing or of that thing that's needed. Then when you go to the reservations on the website, and I think there's a way you can go to this through your student's profile. It'll list, we're attending main campus. So main campus refers to the Ohio site. So because that's the original site. They do have places in Michigan and Wisconsin as well. Why we choose to go to Damascus in Ohio is one, it's the original place because that's the largest. It's the only one where it has middle school and high school concurrently. The other places it's like 1 week or another. So that way to send all of our students there, there's just something special about being there. I'm sure the other camps are great too, but just the power that's here. So there's over 300 young adult missionaries that are present on site, and just this really awesome influence for everyone. It's very much a time schedule. You have like middle school starts off in the morning with breakfast, and pretty much right when they're done breakfast, they clean 20 minutes. Then the high schoolers come in for breakfast, and it's just back and forth throughout the day. They're rotating around. Even the Eucharistic processions, it's amazing because they have on Wednesday night, there's this large procession of the Eucharist throughout the entire campus. And it's funny because there's the middle school procession that starts. So like last year, I was with the middle school students, so carrying the monstrance, and you have the route that's going, and then later on, then like you stop at the lake, have a little bit of private prayer there, and then you go back to. But it's funny, the high school then starts off later on, and it's like, if Jesus meets Jesus, does that create an infinite Jesus warp? I don't know. So that way it's like this, but it's amazing how they have it in the time of prayer and music, and just, really well done. And so anyway, that's why we go with Ohio. It's been just really great thing. So when you get to the reservations, it's not listed on here now because it's not available for registration yet, but it will say on here for summer camp, Catholic Summer Camp, main campus, we're going week 5. So week 5, July, on the website it's July 7th through 12th. Because we'll be leaving here the evening of Saturday, July 6th. And so from Saturday, July 6th, about 7 p.m., we leave from right here at the church. And so we get the bus loaded up, everything else, and then we head out from there. We drive through the night. We somewhat found a rhythm in terms of when we stop, how do we make sure all the kids are supervised, that they're in groups, everything with that. So that way it's all safe, and we're going forward with it. And then they just drive. We have night. We have some snack foods that we'll ask families to bring. We have sandwiches for lunch, and then we get to the camp. And then once we get to the camp, then they're all on there. So, and something too, I want to make sure because I know, unfortunately, McKinley was in this situation last year. She was the only girl, and I didn't catch it until like 2 hours into it. And there were a couple of other our students. So one of the things I'm going to definitely make sure with the camp is that we're going to have at least 3 students in our group together in any small group. So I really want to make sure to emphasize, and I'm going to keep emphasizing that with the camp, make sure we get it, and I'm going to make sure once we get to the camp that everything is, that all our students are in groups that with each other. Because part of our emphasis too is that they help to get to know each other as well. And so it's the awesome thing that we get to see. Of course, they meet students from all over the place too, which is fantastic, and they maintain connections with them, which is really cool. And so to be able to see that, go from there. Anyway, so you'll get to the website here, and then, oops, not there. Okay. So once you get to the website, then it'll have register. Right? I think you can go from your student profile, and then from there say register for a camp. Now, in the email that I sent you, I'm going to pull this up here. This is what I received from my contact from Damascus named Libby. And so Libby sent me I pretty much sent you the email that she sent. And so there are links that she sent in the email for these high school or middle school registration link that should bring you to where you wouldn't have to enter the parish code. Now, once you form an account, so create a new user account, go to My Reservations, and then click Add, and then you add the person to fill in the child, and then the main option you're looking for is I belong to a group that has reserved spaces. So, and again, this is something I'm not fully sure. Maybe some of you who've registered in the past can say how you've gotten there, but you have this high school link and then middle school link there. And so, but if you need the code is here, the PATRFREMO 24. So that's a code. So essentially, you're looking for an option that says that I belong to a group that has reserved spaces, and you'll enter that code. Because what we've done is we've pre-bought these spaces. We've pre-bought and so we're committed to buying these. And they're actually, one of the changes they made this year is that if we don't fill up any of the spaces that we promised to buy, then they actually can fill it from their wait list, and then it wouldn't be on our obligation to pay. So hopefully we don't have that. But again, McKinley was a godsend last year, and both able to attend, but also fill that last spot that we needed. So yay, McKinley, and Christina and Matt. So, but the sense of that. Okay, so we have these pre-bought, and then you go through the registration as you fill that out. You fill out your students' information. You go from there. And then you can add reservations for the other camper if you have multiple children, and then go. And then there's some videos that they have. One thing, so campership. So the campership that you apply for, it comes toward the very end of the application. So if you're wanting to apply for financial aid for your students, then you would fill that out. I think it asks for general income for the family and asks like what are particular reasons you're desiring this campership. So just answer honestly and openly, and then they consider it from there. And I think they'll send an email where they make an offer, either like if they're able to, they'll offer a full campership or a half campership or whatever else they may be able to add. And again, if for whatever reason that doesn't work out, then let me know, and we can begin looking at other ways to help your students still be able to attend. And then once you've finished the registration, then you'll receive, I think, confirmation email, and then your students' information will be on there. And this will be the website too. So come next year, I think May or so, they'll ask for updated health information for the students, and they'll have you fill that out. That way it's all there. And then I think there will be, I can't remember if it's this website or it's another website where you get the pictures and videos. Okay, so they'll send that specific link to you because what they do is they post videos or photos or videos from the camp. They have photographers, videographers as part of their staff. So just really high quality things they're able to provide, but also to us adults. Well, not necessarily I post some pictures, but then the other adults too mainly will help post pictures. We have a GroupMe group, so using the app GroupMe, we put all the parents in there. That's where we keep you posted on all the different pictures, events, the things that go on, and then that's where we'd have all those. So you have all these questions, and then it says, if you have any questions, please reach out to our registration customer service team at registration@cysc.com. So my recommendation, if you run into issues or technology stuff, whatever, I'd recommend just go ahead and email them first before emailing me, because really probably all I would do is just say email them. So that way it's have that. But I think the couple of places that families have tripped up in the past are like, one, it's sometimes hard to, so I'd say, so create the user account first, then go on the student's reservation user account to say make a reservation. Because if you go to just the camp reservation list, it's not going to let you go through. So, and second, there's an option that says parish. At least there has been the past couple of years. And so it what family like you'll look on when it says parish and it's like, oh, I'm looking for St. Patrick Fremont, and then you're scrolling down, it's like there's no St. Patrick Fremont. Well, that's because all of those parishes are Ohio parishes, so they don't have anything beyond Ohio. So in that case, you would just put other, and then you fill it out. So I know those have been a couple of ways. Any families who've done this before? Are there any other particular tips or things you would recommend? Yes. Yes, you can request suite mates at that point. So that would be a good, if you know your student has a particular friend or friends that they want to really be with, that's when I would recommend. I think even sometimes in the past, some families have coordinated that's like they all like make a circle of like this person puts this person puts this person puts this, and if it's that way, it's like they'd all be together. So if that's something you know your students desire, if they've talked with others who are attending, then they'll be able to have that. So anything else? All right. So are there any just general questions or comments? I mean, especially with maybe some students not being here, but being able to ask questions that you want, um, that you've been wondering. Mhm. Yep, most certainly. Yeah, we found that a great value, and yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going. I'll repeat all this just to make sure it gets on the recording. So thanks for bringing that up. So about a half hour before we arrive, that's when we found it pretty cool. On the bus, we have each student come forward and they just say like what are they most wanting from God on this trip, or what are they most excited for. At that point, Lori, along with her color-coded binders, has these bags that are individually labeled. So they put their phone, their electronic, their like smartwatch, any like if they have headphones or other things, we just recommend they keep it all together. Or if they have a video game device that they brought on the bus, then they put that in there. And so Lori keeps those throughout the week. Yes. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. And so yeah, so the students will text at that point or say, yeah, be able to say farewell. It's mentioned in the past 2 years it's been Father's Day when we've done that. So at least it's not Father's Day this year when we do that. So you can spend Father's Day with your kids. So also to like on the group me, I've posted like live locations, so that way it's you can always like from my phone you can always see on the bus like where are we in the world. So that's been through Google. That's really nice. So okay, so students have their phones throughout, so they don't have access to their phones or smartwatches, which is actually really awesome because then they can focus fully in on the camp. So I remember our first year, like students heard that and they were just like, we can't do this, we don't want to do this, but then by the end of the week, they were like, "Yeah, that was awesome!" Right? Next year, those same students were, "Here you go," right, ready to give it up. So that way, it's being able to have everything taken care of. They can focus fully in if for whatever so if a student like becomes homesick or if they just run into difficulties the way they and if they like this counselors there do a super awesome job of just working with the students helping guide them through and then at particular points if they deem it that it might be helpful then they'll have the student call and they'll have the student call from home. Now if something were to happen like on our end if an emergency or something were to happen here there's a number that you'd be able to call Damascus and then ask for those channels to be able to share something with your student as necessary. So we as chaperones, like, yeah, we may do pictures or whatever, or we may give a general thing. Hey, this person's doing like a couple times I'd have parents text me, "Hey, how's my student doing?" And I'd be able to be like, "Well, they're doing well," right? But for the most part, we won't put you in direct contact with them because we want to respect all of the structures that Damascus has set up, and to respect the work that the counselors and everyone else there is doing. Yes.
So one thing with that, if they are homesick, they don't just have a kid call, the student call you. They call you and ask you, do you want them to, or do you think it might be? Because it was the day before you left, and so
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, I'm like, I don't think if she made it this far, I think she'll be just fine. So they will ask you first. They don't
Mm-hmm.
just let them call home.
And a lot of times, or one of the Fremont sponsors saying she's home,
Mm-hmm.
something we can do to help before they even call you guys to try and take care of it there first. So
Mm-hmm.
they're real good about knowing the direction to go.
Yeah.
So
No,
they've
it's.
been well trained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just yeah, and even so, just another related note, just in terms of health things. So we had a couple of situations this past year of us students becoming sick while they were at camp, and thankfully, with our chaperones, just being able to be present, doing an awesome job of caring for the students, and they were able to bring them back to the place where they were staying, like it's apartment dorms, college dorms that you all were at. Yeah, so college dorms that they stay, so they were able to keep them there and have them supervised, taken care of at that point. And thanks be to God, it didn't turn into anything that we needed to send kids home early. We were able to bring them on the bus, and it all worked out there. But just to know that we had that experience last year, so now we have a better idea of okay, what do we do in those situations, and just knowing, just having that awareness. Okay, if worse comes to worse, and something, if the kid needs to get home, then we'd work something out there. So.
So is that kind of the plan again this year? So
Mm-hmm.
if there is a sick kid, then our chaperones will take care of them at the dorms.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, because their policy is
They have to leave.
they have to leave and be fever free for 24 hours. So it's kind of hard for our kids to leave. 99.
If they're higher than 99. So it could be 100 degrees outside plus.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing. So
Mm-hmm.
So they have a better plan now for campers from out of state, because Ohio campers, it's easy to go home and come back, but for us it wasn't. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a plan in place now of what to do, and it worked out fine last year.
Yeah, they were very gracious in working with us through that, um, and everything with that. So just knowing, so something I'd recommend too is like think about okay, what I mean, not of course I don't necessarily know each particular family's particular things, but do you want to give your kid a little bit of extra vitamin C starting a couple days before camp, or start a few vitamins, things like that? No.
I will say that you said that last year. We ought to have a little extra vitamin C, and I didn't listen to you. I'm sorry, Father.
No worries.
But I wish I would have.
No worries, and hopefully too. I mean, because at least the past couple of years we've gone, it seems like it's, I mean, second week of camp, and it's like the counselors' immune systems haven't been built up or anything. So it seems like first week comes, students bring all the illnesses, and it's like, it spreads. So hopefully going week 5 is a little better in that regard, that maybe they'll build some things up, and just, yeah, maybe there's lesser sicknesses, I think, at that point too. So who knows?
You know, if your child gets motion sickness on a bus or anything, let us know. I always take Dramamine along, so before you give it to your child, they call you and make sure it's okay to give it if it happens, if they do get sick. But
Yes.
we
So.
have had that happen before too. My daughter was one of them the first year, so.
it would be helpful to know so that they sit in the
Not
front
in the back.
In the press.
Yeah.
Or at least in
Because
the
I think that's helpful if they can be at the front and see
Mhm.
in the back, and then it's more.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Sometimes you don't know though till they get on the bus.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, but we found out going the same way, so, but we will call you and let you know if that happens.
So yeah, so what they were saying is that in terms of motion sickness on the bus, so if you know that's something your student is susceptible toward, Lori will have some Dramamine that she'll be able to provide for students on with your permission. But my hope too is I've asked the bus company to take a less hilly route. So hopefully, I tried asking them that last year, but it was somewhat too late according to their plans, whatever. But this year I put it out right out there beginning, like try this route instead. So I don't think it's as hilly. At least not that I can remember. But because the first year I've gone from like when they picked me up from the airport, they drove me in, and it seemed like just a nice country drive. Then with the bus these past couple of years, it's like hill up, down, hill up, curve, everything else. So like so full sort of things. So
And on the way out, we do try and monitor after, I think was it 10 o'clock last year when we stopped for potty break, we said no sugar drinks or candy because then.
yeah, yeah, that'd be something I'd recommend. Just that you emphasize with your students before they go to say that just don't eat sugar before, or like don't like because we want students to sleep, to rest, or at least not be distractions to everyone else who's trying to sleep and rest. So that way, please keep everything with that.
No high energy drinks.
Yep, no energy drinks. No bring those on the bus either. So, any other questions, thoughts, comments? Guys, I think we're good. Corey, do you want to go find Sherry and bring all the kids back in? So that will be good.